Thank you all for coming. Welcome to the Bangalore International Center. For those of you who are here for the first time, we are a space for informed conversation and dialogue, arts and culture. If you'd like to receive our email notifications, you can sign up on our website. This evening's program, Changemakers, Inspirational Stories by Children and Youth, brings you 4 young people: Samreen Ansari, Ishika Shaw, Babu Sinappa, and Gautami Devraj. Our moderator for the evening, who has mentored and inspired them, is Dr. Anita Sheth. To begin with, I'd like to give a bit of the context for this program. Bringing awareness to the plight of disadvantaged children and youth was important to Rishi, a young teenager who was passionate about the happiness of the world. His sudden departure at the age of 17 years brought people together, bonded with grief and love, and the fire to continue what he started. In his memory, programs supporting these disadvantaged children have uncovered inspiring stories that are transformational. Changemakers brings you stories narrated by ordinary children who have experienced extraordinary hardship and faced tremendous loss. They were brave enough to find a doorway into the world that showed them that success is not determined by avoiding challenges, but how you allow the challenges to shape you. Inspiring to others, they spread their resilience and joie de vivre, transforming the world. Before we hear from the Changemakers, let me introduce Dr. Anita Sheth, who has brought them together. A pediatrician and public health scientist at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. She is the director of the Johns Hopkins Maternal and Child Health Center, India, that focuses on child and adolescent health, enhancing women's health and well-being, and strengthening public health capacity in India. Apart from teaching and practice, she conducts research on childhood vaccination, and cares deeply about pneumonia prevention and HIV. As a physician, she has treated and nurtured many children born with HIV through childhood and into adulthood. I think I could say that we've seen this firsthand when she was at St. John's in Bangalore. And she is passionate about empowering children and youth to help them live with good health and dignity. So I'd like to now invite Anita on stage.
Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I'd really like to extend my deep thanks to the amazing Mr. Ravi Chandar and Pratiti Punjabalal for conceptualizing this program and enabling the opportunity to present Changemakers. To explore why we need changemakers in our lives, let's think about how love and loss can be 2 sides of the same coin. Loss and adversities are universal. We all experience them. And these experiences can sometimes break us. But these experiences also open the doorway to a magical world, a world that can be transformative and joy-filled, just on the other side of the coin, if only we have the courage and the determination to seek it. Many of you may know the famous violinist Itzhak Perlman. He was stricken with polio as a child, and he would often, during performances, walk across the stage with his clasps and his crutches, put his crutches down, and start to play. But when he picked up the violin, he made magic. So the story I'd like to relate is something that happened one day in 1995 when he was at a concert playing. Just a few bars into the concert, one of the strings of his violin broke with a loud snap. The audience waited breathlessly, knowing that he would now have to put back his clasps and pick up his crutches and walk slowly, painfully across the stage to find a new violin. But instead, he paused, he closed his eyes, nodded at the conductor, and began playing where he left off. He played with such passion and such purity. It was impossible to think that such a piece of such a symphonic nature could be played with such beauty. The audience was transfixed, and when the piece ended, and when the cheering quietened, Yitzhak Perlman wiped his brow and said, in his usual quiet and humble way, sometimes we have to find out how much music we can make with what we have left. With what we have left. What a powerful idea. In life, many things go wrong. Our strings break. But we have in ourselves the ability to play with our lives, to go on with the music, sometimes with even more meaning. When we look around us, we see our children and they inspire us all the time. Today, we meet 4 young changemakers who are ordinary children who have been through tremendous loss and extraordinary hardship, but they picked up what they had left and continued to make music with their lives and touch others and transform the world in that process. I have been lucky to have known many of them personally, and I have been inspired by their love and determination and faith. Our first speaker for today is Ishika Shaw. 16-year-old Ishika grew up living in one of the busiest pavements of Kolkata. She has endured untold adversities of street living. When I first met Ishika, I was struck by her confidence, her poise, and purpose. She is a street champion with the Child in Need Institute, a 50-year-old institution with an unparalleled record in child protection services. Ishika studies in class 10, but works with a passion to improve street-connected children's accessibility to services that we all take for granted. She will change how we think about these children, and she will change the world for these children. Ishika.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, I'm Ishika from Kolkata. Now, tell me, what comes to your mind when I say the word street child? Perhaps you would get a picture of a helpless orphan, wearing clothes that are torn, begging on the streets, or an adolescent who is addicted, engaged in petty crimes. Maybe you see a starving child looking for food in the garbage dump near your buildings. These are true to some extent, but there is a much longer story that speaks about the strength we have and the capability we have, which make us survive in such conditions. Most of you look at us like we are very different from other children, but like other children, we also live with our families, our parents, our grandparents, as well as siblings. Only we do not have a roof over our heads. And we have rights too. जैसे हम लोग स्कूल जाते हैं, हमारी मम्मी सुबह 5 बजे उठकर हमारे और हमारी बहन के लिए टिफ़िन बनाती है. But yet, when people look at us, they only see the dirty clothes. Government uncle and aunties who make the schemes for free ration, free healthcare, or free insurance, they do not think about our problems that we have. And that's why we do not get our documents easily, such as birth certificate, Aadhaar card, and so on. I will give you my background. I'm 16 years old and I'm studying in the 10th standard. My young sister and I are the first person in our family who are completing our education beyond the primary levels, and it has not been easy. If you ever come to Kolkata, you will find me living on a pavement under a plastic shade in front of a red, huge building in the busiest street of the city. And we keep our belongings such as clothes, food, utensils under a wooden plank on which we sleep. And my father stays away from us as he works in the other state. और हमारी मम्मी दिन भर काम करती है क्योंकि उनको हम लोग को कोचिंग का सपोर्ट का दरकार होता है, क्योंकि हमारे पास कोई एक ऐसा इंसान नहीं है जो हम लोग को पढ़ाई में सपोर्ट कर सके, इसलिए हम लोग को कोचिंग क्लासेस जाना पड़ता है, इसलिए मेरी मम्मी दिन भर काम करती है उसी के लिए. And I'm very grateful that I and my sister can secure scholarships to study in an English medium school. And I realized that speaking English would open up a lot of doorways for us. और कुछ ऐसा भी दिन हुआ था कि हमारा जो स्कूल का बुक्स होता है, रिपोर्ट कार्ड स्कूल का, फिर या डॉक्यूमेंट्स हम लोग का जो होता है वो फेंक दिया गया था. या तो जो बारिश आता है, साइक्लोन होता है, उसमें भीग चुका था सारा बुक्स, डॉक्यूमेंट्स और ये आधार कार्ड वो सब पूरा भीग चुका था. आई गेस यू मस्ट बी थिंकिंग why I didn't went to a children's home. Well, I was given a chance, but I didn't wanted to live without my family. Because why should I choose between safety and my family? I saw some of my friends being very scared as people tried to open their shirts button or cut through their skirts as they were asleep on the pavement. I used to get very angry in the beginning. I used to ask my mother, are we invisible? Why we are never considered to be a part of the same community people as others who have their roof over their heads? I always felt I had lots to say, and I'm glad that I could raise my voice to the people of the world, including United Nations. Yes, recently I spoke to the world leaders in the United Nations to take immediate action to ensure that the children like me are not excluded from the rights that we have. It all started when I heard about CINI, attended their trainings and workshops, and got to learn skills like public speaking. Trust me, my teachers used to complain to my mother that I don't talk at all because I was scared of people judging me. When I started attending the trainings and workshops, I started speaking out. And now my teachers complain that I talk too much. Then came the period of lockdown. Remember that time? When the world suddenly came to a stop. Now think, what happened to the lives of the children like us? And I saw some of my friends being very sad as they could not afford internet to attend online classes. I had to do something. हम अपने पापा का फ़ोन लेकर, क्योंकि हमारे पापा वापस आ गए थे, क्योंकि उनका जॉब छूट गया था, तो वो हमारे घर वापस आ गए थे. उनके पास एक स्मार्टफ़ोन था. हम लोग वो स्मार्टफ़ोन लेकर हम और हमारी दोस्त लोग हम लोग एरियाज़ मैप किए जहाँ जहाँ वाईफाई जोन्स अवेलेबल है, जैसे कि रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टॉप, जहाँ जहाँ पर भी वाईफाई जोन्स अवेलेबल था हम लोग वहाँ जाकर ऑनलाइन क्लासेस करना स्टार्ट किए. ऑनलाइन क्लासेस करने के बाद हम लोग को पता चला कि बहुत जन को गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स के बारे में नहीं पता है, तो उन लोगों को हम लोग अवेयर करते थे कि गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स कैसे मिल सकता है उन लोगों को और कैसे हम लोग वो सुविधा उन तक पहुंचा सकते हैं. और इसी दौरान हम लोग जब बस स्टॉप्स और रेलवे स्टेशन में हम लोग जाते थे अपना ऑनलाइन क्लासेस करने, तो वहाँ पर बहुत शोर होता था. तो इसलिए हम लोग के पास कोई एक ऐसा जगह नहीं था जहाँ पर हम लोग अपना शांति से अपना पढ़ाई कर सके. हम लोग के एरिया में एक टी स्टॉल था जो पूरा तरीके से बंद हो चुका था. तो वहाँ पर हम लोग क्या किए, वहाँ पर एक बेंच बैठाकर हम लोग वहाँ पर अपना पढ़ाई करना स्टार्ट किए. और ऐसे ही और फिर कोविड जब आया था तब उन लोगों को कुछ भी नहीं पता था कोविड के बारे में कि कैसे हाथ धोया जाता है, कैसे मास्क पहना जाता है, कैसे सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन किया जाता है। तो फिर हम और हमारी दोस्त लोग मिलके हम लोग उन लोगों को अवेयर करते थे कि कैसे सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन करते हैं, कैसे मास्क पहनते हैं, कैसे हैंड वॉश करते हैं। ये सब के बारे में हम लोग जाके उन लोगों को ट्रेनिंग देते थे। एंड आई एम स्टिल लर्निंग एवरी डे about how I can bring the change so that the people who we do not remain invisible anymore. I need all of you to recognize us, think about us, and speak about us so that people who make decisions regarding children like us also count us in, like others children who have their roof over their heads. Thank you.
Our next speaker today is Samreen Ansari. At 25 years of age, Samreen is a role model for the adolescent girls and young women of Shivvihar, a resettlement colony in the outskirts of Delhi, where she grew up. Her life was not easy, yet she is overcoming her challenges with a smile and a zeal that is infectious. She is a teacher imparting alternative education for out-of-school girls in the program Youth to Power, run by the non-profit organization Bal Umang Drushya Sanstha, or BUDS. In the past year that I have got to know Samreen, I find that she touches people's hearts in a joyful way. She encourages the girls to dream big and work towards making their dreams come true. She wants to change the way the world thinks about women's education. Samreen Ansari.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I am Samreen Ansari and I am from Delhi. My family is middle class, but we did not get property from my grandfather, as my parents did not have a son at that time. They thought, why should my father get property? And what will his daughters do with the land? मैं आज भी ये सोचती हूँ, क्या लड़कियों का कोई हक नहीं है कि वो खुद के घर में रहें? क्या ये हक सिर्फ लड़कों का ही है? इवन मेरे फादर को खुद एक आदमी होने के बावजूद प्रॉपर्टी का हिस्सा सिर्फ इसलिए ही नहीं दिया गया क्योंकि उनको उस वक्त कोई बेटा नहीं था। उनकी 4 बेटियां ही थीं। इन द सेम टाइम मेरी मदर ने डिसाइड किया कि मुझे मेरी बेटियों को पढ़ाना है एंड ये ऑर्थोडॉक्स थिंकिंग को चेंज करना है। आफ्टर दिस then my father went away, so my ammi brought us all of herself and used to do some embroidery work from factory and also make belts. Then she could arrange food in the house. We used to help ammi with this work to get more income. There was no one to look after the younger siblings at home. That is why my elder sister had to leave her studies. Ammi tells that my elder sister left her studies. She cried for a long time and did not even eat food because we had to pay the rent of the house. So, my elder sister got married and went away. In the meantime, my father was returned, but he was ill and could not work. We could not keep up with the expenses of the house. That is why I had to leave my studies and find a job. Hours was long, but my salary was low. That is why I am unable to teach my younger siblings. So slowly we all lost our studies. My younger sister and my mother started doing swing work in the house. These continued for 5 years. फरवरी 2020 दिल्ली दंगे में मैं और मेरी फैमिली बहुत बुरी तरीके से प्रभावित हुए। जिस घर में हम 40 लोग अपनी जान बचाने के लिए रुके हुए थे, उस घर के चारों ओर भयानक आग लगी हुई थी, जिसके काले घने धुएं के कारण हम सांस नहीं ले पा रहे थे। सेम टाइम जो दंगाई थे, राइटर्स थे, उन्होंने हमारे घर के गेट के बाहर आयरन बार से मारना शुरू किया। उस टाइम हम इतना डर गए थे कि शायद हम नहीं बच पाएंगे। कुछ टाइम बाद हमें ये फील हुआ कि अब हमारे घर के बाहर कोई नहीं है, ये सही समय है कि हम घर से निकल सकते हैं, अपनी जान बचा सकते हैं। देन हम लोग वहाँ से निकल गए। निकलते समय हम में से कुछ लोगों को चोट आई थी एंड कुछ लोग जल गए थे। कुछ समय बाद जब हम शिवविहार वापस लौटे तो हमने देखा कि जिस घर में हम अपनी जान बचाने के लिए छुपे हुए थे, उस घर को दंगाइयों ने पूरी तरह जला दिया था। वहाँ कुछ भी नहीं बचा था। घर के साथ साथ जो हमारी 5 साल की सेविंग्स थी और जो हमारे सपने थे वो भी जल गए थे। मुझे कोई उम्मीद नज़र नहीं आ रही थी कि मैं क्या करूँगी, क्योंकि सब कुछ ख़त्म हो चुका था। देन कुछ समय बाद आई सो अ रे ऑफ होप when birds visited us. I remember when Yawar sir from birds came home. That time we stayed in a old and broken house. Everything was kept on the ground and Yawar sir also sat on the same ground. That time I was suffering from mental trauma. मैं हमेशा दंगों के बारे में सोचती रहती थी कि दंगे क्यों हुए हैं और कैसे हुए हैं, जिसके होने के बाद मैंने मेरी पढ़ाई और जॉब दोनों की उम्मीद छोड़ दी थी। देन यावर सर एक्सप्लेन टू मी, वन डे एवरीथिंग विल बी फाइन समरीन एंड वी विल बी सक्सेसफुल वन डे। जब मैंने बर्ड्स के साथ अपने काम की शुरुआत की, मुझे नहीं पता था कि मैं अपने सपने को पूरा करने के कितना करीब हूँ। मैं अपने कम्युनिटी, अपने शिवविहार के लोगों को एजुकेशन की वैल्यू बताना चाहती हूँ, बिकॉज एजुकेशन इज़ द ओनली वे टू चेंज द वर्ल्ड। सो आई वॉन्ट टू चेंज पीपल्स थिंकिंग दैट गर्ल्स आर नॉट लेस देन बॉयज़। सो girls can stand on their feet and provide financial support to their families. Currently, I working at Youth to Power Program Center that was inspired by Rishi Bhaiya. I went every house in Shivvihar and convinced them to send their daughters to the center. These girls who had never enrolled and dropped out from school. I found a new way to teach them. जब भी हम ग्रुप में साथ बैठकर बातें करते हैं, हम एक दूसरे से हिम्मत लेते हैं कि हम मुश्किलों का सामना कैसे करें, जैसे कि डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस या फिर घर वालों का लड़कियों को बाहर आने जाने में रोक टोक करना। When I started helping other girls who have gone similar traumatic situation, I forgot my suffering. When I shared with them hope and courage, I found a new Samreen in me, a more confident and happy Samreen, who believes she can change the world. So I feel today I am ready to face the world. सो हम अक्सर अपने सेंटर में एक गाना गुनगुनाते हैं, गाते हैं, जिससे हमें बहुत ज़्यादा हिम्मत मिलती है, जिसका मतलब है वी शैल ओवरकम आवर डिफ़िकल्टीज़। हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। चलिए हम सभी ये गाना मिलकर गाते हैं। हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। हो मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Samreen. That was very inspiring. We now meet Babu Sinappa. Babu is a 21-year-old who was born with HIV and orphaned at the age of 6. Coping with rejection was one of the biggest challenges for him. Supported throughout by the Sneha Charitable Trust, he became unbeatable in his goals to pursue happiness and growth. I was fortunate to have known Babu from his early childhood and have always been struck by his extreme sensitivity, his love for life, his energy, and his compassion. In addition, he is an international runner, having participated in many marathons around the world. He uses his talents to bring joy in others and highlight others' achievements much more than his own. He is a true role model for other children and wants them to accept challenges that life throws at them and wants them to transform their sorrow into joy. Babu Sinappa.
Why bad things happen to me? Why life is so challenging? Where do you find happiness? Why me for all the struggles? These are few questions that people usually think, but I tell you, I do not have answers, nor do I have solutions. But I have my life as an example which can change your thinking. I am Babu Sinappa. My life begins way in Vaskote, Bangalore, December 2000. I still remember my mother telling me that as a newborn baby, I was filled with smile and I hardly cried. I was a very joyful baby, not knowing that life had already started my troubles. I was very joyful till the age of 3, but when I turned the age 4, one door shut and I lost my father. I never got time to feel his love. I always wanted to sit on his shoulders and see the world like all the other children. But the disease held him back. My mother became a widow. And she never gave up on us. She worked hard under the landlords to earn a little bread for her 3 children. And she had dreams for us. She wanted us to prosper. She wanted us to be happy and successful. But life had different plans. And I lost her at the age of 6 just because of the deadly disease. With fear, all of us were tested, and I was tested positive. I was born with HIV, and HIV took away my parents and made my life dark. I don't know why life hates me so much. I saw my brother and sister enjoying with my aunts and uncles, I being isolated and abandoned. I didn't get time to enjoy the rain, make my hands muddy, or play with the toys. All I got was to see others enjoy being abandoned. My family did everything to keep me away because they feared that I am contagious. A separate plate, separate glass, and a separate place did everything to get rid of me, and that's how I landed up in Sneha Care Home, a home for children living with HIV. Sneha Care Home made me confident and responsible by creating a happy, healthy, and stimulating environment where values are blended with education and special needs addressed through personal attention. This is where I found my life friends, teachers, staffs, and volunteers. I was so happy learning more values and building new skills. My family had promised me to visit and never turned up for years. This is when I went to Dr. Arun and Dr. Anita's home. I still remember every experience that happened that 2 days because this became my home. I met Rishi and Roshan, and I was inspired so much by Rishi, the way he received me without any hesitation. He interacted with me without any problem. My own family had problems with me, But these guys filled me with kind loudness and warmth. This is the first time in my life I ran a 500-meter race together with them. I was so happy to have these two guys with me. Days, months, and years passed. I grew older and built immense interest in running and sports. I was trained under professional coaches and physiotherapists. I took running as the way to transform and spread the message of hope. I'm so proud that I was able to represent India in more than 7 countries and nationally about 6 and many road runs. Thank you. Everyone has someone who will be to make you wonder. And for me, it was Rishi. Rishi inspired me from the very young age through his running. And we used to share our timings and compete with each other even when we grew up. Happy events, happy studies, happy friends, life moved so joyful. But I told you earlier, life didn't like me. Life hated me so much and it proved it again. And I lost my dearest brother Rishi and made my life dark once again after so many years. But this darkness didn't last. Rishi had inspired me so much to take on the odds of life. He wanted everyone to run and to be healthy, and that became my goal. And together we started the program, Positive Running Program, where we are reaching out to children and introducing running into their life. I know how running benefits, but they say running helps you to make strong, it helps you to improve your immune system and makes your heart healthier. Along with this, for me, it has brought new friends, made me more happier, and made my mental health so good. It's just because running really impacts everyone so positively. I tell you, with this excitement, I was so excited how this has impacted my peers, and we did, along with our mentors, we did a research study last year, and we came out with the results that continued structured program from an early young age for the children living with HIV as a connection with improved physical and psychological health. And it has also showed us when it is initiated at an early age, there is more likely for the children to continue at their adulthood. I'm so happy to tell you again, I presented these findings at the International AIDS Conference, Canada last month, and I've come back inspired. There is a way to come out, to overcome every hardest and the saddest lives. I have not let HIV stand on my way to achieve my goals. I have not let HIV define me. For me, HIV is just 3 alphabets in the English vocabulary. Sometimes it is you who are the problems. It is you who keep yourself trouble, and it is you who make yourself suffer. Instead, you should take over your life. My dear friends, life gives everyone challenges, different challenges. Stop crying behind the pains and take over the pain and make your sufferings into love and happiness and kindness. And you will become a change maker too. Thank you so much.
Speaker for today is Gautami Devraj. Gautami is a 20-year-old young woman who lost both her parents in early childhood. She grew up within the loving Snehadan family and completed her class 12 and is currently in college. I have had the privilege of watching Gautami grow into this remarkable young woman who wants to change the world. She is passionate about dancing and strives for excellence in dance, even if she has to teach it to herself. She understands how learning, thought, creativity, and knowledge can be enhanced by immersion of the mind and body in the arts. She is a wonderful mentor and teacher to other girls and orphans and wants to use dance as a medium to change and enrich people's lives. Gautami Devraj.
At a very young age, I lost my mother and my father, and I was given care by my mother's sister. But that didn't last for long as I was falling sick often. One day, my family took me to the hospital and they came to know that I was infected with HIV. My uncle was also sick, and so my family found it difficult to take care of both of us. They left me at the hostel in Sneha Care Home, and I thought this was the end of my life. But my eyes opened slowly. I found friends and a larger family. At Sneha Care Home, I got back my childhood and began to discover myself. One day, there was a competition where I got the opportunity to take part in the dance section. I did my best and I got second place. Once the competition was over, many students and other people came up to me and congratulated me. This made me feel very good. But I was not happy with it. I felt I found something, only to realize it was an illusion. But one of our teachers came up to me and said these words, "Congratulations, you have done a good job." Then he said, "If you put your efforts, next year you could still win the first place." These words startled me. Is this really within my reach? I started to learn more dance through the internet and began to take part in the cultural programs. Gradually, people started coming to know that there was this dancer within me which I was not able to see earlier. I loved dancing. May it be any program, I would just jump into it. So the next year, we had the same competition. I worked hard at it. I took part in the dance, and this time I got first place. That moment was a very proud moment in my life. All these years, I had been searching for meaning in my life. Dancing makes me feel alive. It frees me. Dancing brings me strength and joy and allows me to share a piece of my soul with the world. I owe a lot to my own family who have supported me, and to the Snehagram family and to the whole world for having faith in me. I discovered not just dance but other skills too. I loved teaching. I now have a degree from college. But I never stopped dancing. Whatever may happen, even if I fall sick, I would still dance. Dance is my passion. My dream is to start a dance school for those children who love dance. It should not matter whether you have a bad illness or other problem. All I want is to inspire the youngsters to bring out their talents and skills. I believe that one day I will stand up to my dream and make it come true. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, that was captivating, compelling, and thought-provoking indeed. We do have time for some questions. So I would request any one of you with comments or questions to please come up to the front. I think there is a mic on the left side of the audience, and ask your questions. Maybe we could turn the light on a little bit more. And may I request our young changemakers to please come back on stage for some audience interaction.
And for another round of applause.
I want to first start by just saying how truly inspiring all four of you are, and then follow on with a question for Ishika. I was very impressed by how passionate you are about advocating for other children like you. My question is, how do you mobilize other young boys and girls in advocating and spreading awareness about child rights?
हेलो। जैसे कि हम रास्ते पे रहते हैं और हम अपने एरिया के लीडर हैं और हमको एज अ स्ट्रीट चैम्पियन नाम से जाना जाता है। जैसे कि हम एक स्ट्रीट चैम्पियन है और हमारे 29 और फ्रेंड्स हैं, उनको भी एज अ स्ट्रीट चैम्पियन नाम से जाना जाता है। और हम लोग एक एक स्ट्रीट चैम्पियन 15-15 बच्चे लोगों को ट्रेन करते हैं चाइल्ड राइट्स के ऊपर में, और उन लोगों को ये भी ट्रेन करते हैं कि उन लोगों को गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स कैसे मिल सकता है और कहाँ से मिल सकता है गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स। तो ये सब, और ये गवर्नमेंट स्कीम सिर्फ मिल नहीं सकता है, उन लोगों को वो गवर्नमेंट स्कीम से हम लोग लिंक करवा देते हैं कि वो लोगों को वो स्कीम्स डायरेक्ट उन तक पहुंच सके। और इसी तरह हम लोग का चेन टाइप सिस्टम बनता है। जैसे हम लोग स्ट्रीट चैम्पियंस हैं और उनके सिबलिंग्स, उनके फैमिलीज़, ऐसे पूरा चेन टाइप सिस्टम अवेयर होता है सब कोई। जैसे हम लोग स्ट्रीट चैम्पियंस लोग अपने पियर्स को हम लोग ट्रेन करते हैं, वो लोग अपने घर पे जाके ये सब बारे में बोलते हैं, और उन लोगों को सिर्फ यही नहीं, उन लोगों को डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट मिलता है। तो इसलिए उन लोग हम लोग के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट बहुत अच्छे तरीके से होता है। थैंक यू।
Thank you, all four of you. It was just so inspiring to listen to your stories, and it makes us want to make something of our lives as well. Gautami, I loved the way you use dance as a form of storytelling and a way of communicating with people. So I just want to know now, with this fellowship program, with your studies, how are you fitting dance into your life? And I heard you mentioning how you were going to open a dance school. Yeah, so do you want to tell us a little more?
First of all, dance is something which always keeps me energizing. And as I said, even if I fall sick, I would still dance. And that is how I'm still here, inspiring people about dance. And apart my works and my other studies, dance never makes me like extra activity, because it is always with me, and I always keep dancing and inspire my students to dance. And in our school, like we have an institution which I work as a fellow. So on every Sunday, we gather and we dance together and make us feel ourselves better, fit and healthy and happy. So the three things that what I want to say is, dancing always gives me joy, healthy and gives me strength. Thank you.
Thank you, all four of you. It was really inspiring to hear you. My question is to Samreen. You mentioned that you teach at the Youth to Power Center. I was just wondering, is that a school for girls or is it different from regular schools?
या यूट्यूब प्रोग्राम सेंटर की स्पेशलिटी ये है कि इसमें हम उन लड़कियों को एनरोल करते हैं जो अपनी पढ़ाई बीच में छोड़ चुकी हैं या फिर वो कभी स्कूल नहीं गई हैं, जिसमें उनका एज ग्रुप है 15 to 25। इसमें हम किशोरियों के साथ साथ महिलाओं को भी एनरोल करते हैं। इस सेंटर में हम साक्षर बनाने के साथ साथ हम उनसे जुड़े मुद्दों पर भी चर्चा करते हैं, जैसे कि हेल्थ, एजुकेशन, वायलेंस एंड राइट्स। इसी के साथ साथ हम उनको एक्सपोजर विजिट्स भी करवाते हैं, जैसे कि पुलिस स्टेशन या पोस्ट ऑफिस या फिर बैंक विजिट करवाना। इससे उनका कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड होता है और यह कदम उनको एम्पावरमेंट की ओर लेकर के जाता है। सो इसीलिए ये स्कूल से अलग है। थैंक यू।
Thank you, all four of you. Such inspiring stories. Question for Babu. Babu, thank you for sharing such a wonderful, phenomenal, very inspiring story. I just wanted to hear more, Babu, about how you feel the running program, the sports program has impacted the lives of the children that you mentor, and what your plans are for the future of this program.
So running has actually impacted our children very positively. First, it has actually helped the physical development, where there's lesser or fewer infection nowadays with the children who are doing the running program compared to the children of the community. There's a better mental health, there's more happiness that is found among the children who are doing the running, because there's less stress that is actually taken in. And there is improved continuity that we see in the education, as there is more stable and more results are actually more upcoming by the children. And we are happy that we want to scale up this program to many more children across Karnataka and India, and that is why we started this program, Positive Running Program. And so through this program, we want to reach out to all the children who really inspire themselves by running, and we want to introduce running so that they can be healthy, happy, and live a life more joyful. That is our dream. And we are to continue, we are actually organizing a run on Sunday, which is on the 21st at 6 a.m. So I would really welcome those who would like to participate and run for yourself and transform many more children. So please give in your time and space for the children whom we can impact much more. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for these questions, and more than anything, I'd like to thank Gautami, Ishika, Babu, and Samreen for this wonderful and inspiring session. It's a gift that they have given us, the story of their lives and how we can help transform our own lives and others around us. So thank you.
Thank you.
I also would like to acknowledge the family of Sneha Charitable Trust. I see Father Teddy, Father Sunil, Father Bijoy here, and Father Matthew is at the other end of the world, but he's with us today as well in all our hearts. We have Dr. Rajiv Seth, who is the founder chair of BUDS, the Bal Umang Drushya Sanstha, and we have Dr. Indrani Bhattacharya, who is the chief executive of CINI, Child in Need Institute. We have Sister Rose here, who's also running different programs, Sister Biju. We have wonderful organizations around India and the world that are doing these amazing things and bringing change makers to change our world. So thank you, all of you. And thank you to your audience for your attention and for being so supportive by being present here for our children. Thank you.
A big thank you to the 4 young people from Bangalore International Center, Ishika, Samreen, Babu, and Gautami, and to Dr. Anita Sheth, for giving us a sense of their extraordinary work in such a spectrum of fields: education for girls, rights for children, living on the street, running and athletic programs for children born with HIV, and the transformational power of the arts through dance. Thank you all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to the concert. Many of you, if you have passes for the concert at 7:30, you're welcome to stay in the auditorium. And thank you, and hope to see you again at another BIC event. Good night.